You've hidden so long in your own life that you feel like you've killed your personality, that you don't even really know what your voice is anymore. I'm going to share with you an unorthodox tool for self-healing that will help you find yourself again that you haven't heard about before, unless you follow me for the last 3 years. Picture yourself at a table. You're on a date. You're on a first date with someone and you're nervous. You want to make a good impression. You want to see if there's chemistry, you want to see if there's a spark, and of course you want to be your truest, most authentic self, but you're doing the best that you can. So there's a moment where there's a lull in the conversation and you want to say something and you blurt something out that you're like, what the fuck, I don't even really care about that, or I don't mean that, or I don't really want to ask that question, but it feels habitual, it feels like a pattern you're just sort of following because it's a version of this self that you've curated and crafted to exist publicly in an acceptable and tolerable, palatable way. And they answer it and the date continues and it ends up sort of just superficial and surface and you don't really learn about that person and they definitely don't learn anything about you. And maybe it goes on to a second date or a third or a fourth, and that's even worse because now it's stayed kind of surface. Maybe you've gotten a bit deeper, but you haven't gotten more practiced at getting open or vulnerable with this person and not in an authentic way. This is reverse back to that first date and that moment where you have to think of something to say. Take this content piece I'm recording right now, which is completely unscripted. This moment, any moment that you give yourself when you record a video of yourself that's unscripted is a moment to sit with yourself and practice summoning, choosing, and then speaking. Summoning, choosing, then speaking. Ideally from a place that feels like here, not just the chatter and the prattle in your head of who am I supposed to be? What do they want from me? What would be the easiest version of me? I don't want to offend. I don't want to be too much. What do I want to say? Who do I want to be? Creating unscripted content, or at least unscripted videos, are an opportunity to practice that moment, the you at the table with your date, when you don't necessarily know what to say. You don't know what to say because you don't know what your voice is. You don't know who you are. I'm saying practice the whole not knowing who the fuck you are thing over here in a space of your own creation, a place where you can just give yourself the time and the space to say all the words, not necessarily just the right ones, because you'll realize there are no right words and there are no wrong words. This is really about the internal and the external work and healing required to be seen. But first it requires being seen by yourself, bearing witness and going like, this is me. And even if this isn't all of me, I'm finding what that means. I'm Justin Schumann. I'm utterly obsessed with this work. It is tangible and practical, and I am happy to teach you how to do it. But if you don't think you matter, or you're interesting, or you're deserving of taking up the space to even hit the big red button and start,